Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for another episode of the Kerbal Space Program Let's Play. I have looked up the exact details on where and how I should be doing this burn, so I am attempting to actually get a hold of Jool here. We're going to see what happens as we get out here towards its orbit. Slow it. Oh, nope, not that much. Come on. Now the idea is to catch a hold of Jool somehow. We'll worry about getting to Lathe later. For now, we just need to get to Jool. Where's Jool? Well, I've done something completely borkin, because that was supposed to capture Jool somewhere, and it didn't. Alright. Well, first things first, let's make sure it's lined up properly. It's not even remotely lined up properly. So let's yank this thing up a little bit. Wow, why are you going crooked? What are you doing? What was that? What the crap was that? Seriously? Seriously? Oh, for the love of crap! I don't know. No! Not even... Why are you being weird? Where's the maneuver note? No, I want the... Oh, son of a... Please let me see the maneuver node. Alright, so... No, get the... Grab the dang node! Jesus! I want to drag it over here. No, open the node. Kerbal! Stop it! I need the freaking node. Jeez. Dumbass. Okay, let's try this again. Get out here. Oh, look, there's an encounter. Smooth. Alright, but now we're way too high. Ugh. Okay, bring it down. Bring it back down. Come on. This will get us a lot closer to the planet. Okay, right about there. Okay, so what does that land us with? We get an encounter at about 156 days, and then an escape at 172. So that gives me like 2 weeks to try to slow down or speed up or whatever it is to get in an orbit around Jool. So that'll work. That'll work okay. That'll be just fine. That'll be just fine. So let's see now. If I can I decelerate here and still capture the planet? Because if I could, that would be great. Get me on a trajectory that's much closer to. Oop. Yeah, I can, but I got to be careful about doing too much here. Yeah. See, that's too much. So a little more. Keep going. Well, just a little more than that. And that ought to do it. Okay, so as long as I can get on that trajectory, we should be able to actually encounter what we're looking for here. It looks like I should probably drag this up a little more. Oh, come on. Get up there. There we go. Alright, so that's what we were looking for. Let's try this again. Now, for those of you who may have noticed, if you're paying particularly close attention, you will have noticed that a few things have changed slightly with my orbital patterns. That is because I already attempted to record this video and failed massively because for some reason, the primary control module that it decided to use is apparently facing the wrong way. I think it must have decided to use this one, the one that has a Bill in it. Yeah, Bill. I'm pretty sure it's the one that had Bill in it. And so when I fired, the rockets were all facing the wrong way, and I wound up kind of borking the crap out of my orbit. So yeah, that happened. Anyway, I have now switched to the Probodyne QBE remote control core up here, so now hopefully the vessel is actually pointing the right way and I can locate the burn vector and actually burn along it instead of burning retrograde, slowing myself down, and completely fucking everything. Oh well. Fortunately, I have tons of fuel. It's approximately a 20-minute burn, so all should be good. I've got tons of fuel on board. 20 minutes is like nothing compared to compared to the engines I've got here. They should just burn forever. Don't worry about the fact that it says that the liquid fuel and the oxidizer on these has dropped a little bit. It hasn't. What's going on here is this tank. Let's see. These tanks. No. It is this. No, it's these tanks. It's these 4 side tanks here that are actually draining. Although, wait a minute. What's going on here? Why are you... You're pulling oxidizer out of here, aren't you? I'm going to miss my thing here. Okay, I've got to identify where the erroneous fuel flow is coming from. It's getting liquid fuel from somewhere that it shouldn't be. We'll figure that out in a minute, and I will correct everything. But basically, the reason that it's displaying such a chunk has become missing, even with that tiny burn, is because it's not even taking into consideration the jumbo massive fuel tanks sitting on the sides. Yeah, neat stuff. All right, so let's get to our burn trajectory here before we go start messing with that. And lock it in with the SAS. Okay, so now that's what happened. So you and you need to refuel this guy because you're not supposed to be taking any liquid fuel from this guy. He needs his liquid fuel for when he goes in for landing. Naughty, naughty. Alright, so we'll just fill it up and then disable fuel transfer here. I knew there was a few things we were going to have to mess with. But let's see, right here on this thing, Clampotron docking port, disable crossfeed. There we go. That's what we want. And then come over here, right-click U, alt-right-click U, refuel this. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Come on. It takes a long time when you're running at 6 frames per second here. Alright, so then we do that, and then come over here, right-click on this, disable crossfeed. Okay, there we go. That should prevent weird issues in the future. Now, the only thing I'm wondering is... No, that crossfeed is not disabled. These tanks are not disabled. So why are they not being pulled from? There is something else I want to do here now that I think about it. I need to disable crossfeed from here. These tanks are still full, right? Yeah. And then this one's still full, so I need to disable this crossfeed. And then disable this crossfeed. And then disable this crossfeed. There. Alright, and we're just going to have to run through and make sure that everything's fueled up before we actually go launching it on its mission when that time comes. But that should do it. So let's just get around to our maneuver node here. It's 2 hours away according to the Kerbals. We'll just accelerate time and make that a few seconds, yeah? I know it's not a few seconds for you guys, but I don't have to wait that long. 40 minutes. I really don't want to miss this node, you know. And I overshot it. Oh well, no worries. All engines are activated, maximum burn engaged, and yes, the estimated burn time and the thing is actually decelerating now. Thank goodness. The last time I was doing this, I was sitting here freaking out for like 20 minutes because it wasn't going down, it was going up. Anyway, we will return after I have successfully performed this burn. It's going to take me a while. I will return. And welcome back. That took like an hour of my time because of the 5 FPS thing. Oh my crap, I need a better video card. Anyway, we are on an escape trajectory here, and all projections are good. It's saying that we are actually going to encounter Jool, and it looks like it's lined up exactly the way I want it to be. It's about as good as it's going to get, as far as I can tell anyway. Yep, looks good to me. 205 days versus 180, that's 25 days. That's almost a month for me to do correctional burns in order to get lined up properly. I like it. Okay, so as you could probably imagine, I was juggling fuel like a boss that entire freaking time, trying to get it out of these tanks and into this one. So I am actually going to fill up these tanks and get everything all balanced out so that our craft is as balanced as possible with as much fuel as possible, sitting here waiting for those nuclear engines when I decide to fire them again, because I know I'm going to need to. And then I'm going to balance these 2 orange tanks and return once we have approached to the point where we can begin doing our retrograde burn to establish an orbit around Jool. And welcome back. It looks like we have been captured by Jool. We've been captured by Jool. Now, I'm not sure we actually have enough fuel. We've gone through a bit more than half of our fuel here. I took the time to transfer as much of it as possible into the center stacks and then even out these 2 jumbo fuel tanks. But we may simply have brought too many fuel, too many planes, too many landers, too many probes, just too much weight, and not enough fuel to actually get them to where they were going. That's not a good thing, in case you were wondering. But we're going to try it anyway. We're going to keep going, and if we wind up having to create a smaller craft or do something where we hop, skip, and jump between planets with the Kethane packer or something so we can make our own fuel, then so be it. All the more fun for me in the Kerbal Space Program. Oh, I do so love this game. And for anyone who is paying attention to it, I have finished 3 episodes of the tutorial series, and hopefully I will be uploading those soon. I didn't realize how big of a project that was actually going to be. There's a lot to cover in the Kerbal Space Program. More than you would think. Anyway, we are almost here. Orbits of 2,233.8 meters a second. I don't know how that compares to Jool orbit, but I don't think that's actually that fast. I'm fairly certain that if we slow down to less than 1,000, we should be able to do it. And since it was like a 2,000 meter burn just to get out here, we may be okay on fuel. Alright, so where's that retrograde? Oh, come on, slow down. Come on, SAS, you can do it, buddy. There you go. There you go. Alrighty then. Glorious. I'll lock it in. Begin burning. We may as well use all of the engines here. No reason to slack off on the fuel now. We need to slow down. And we need to slow down a lot. That periapsis is at... Wow, really? Maybe I should actually wait until I'm closer. You know what? I have a better idea. If I put a maneuver, I should just do a maneuver. Duh. Of course you should just do a maneuver. So if I put a maneuver right there that's designed to do nothing but slow me down, how much does it take to establish an orbit around Jool? Doink. There it is. It's about a 9-minute burn. Okay, so that's going to be about half of our remaining fuel in order to establish that. All right. Well, let's make it circular because there's no harm in it. I mean, it's already going to be a several million, 400 million kilometer orbit. No big deal. Alright, so that's like at 11. That's like a 10-minute burn, really? That's it? Alright. Well, let's go out there. 10,000. My word, that's fast. And there's one more above this. I go all the way to 100,000. And I think I am. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll turn it down a little bit here, a little more here. Ooh. Okay. I slow it down a little bit because I don't want to miss it. And it's very easy to miss it with these really, really high acceleration ratios. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, keep it slow. Okay. Increase it a little bit to meter the speed. 20 minutes. We're at 100 times speed here. 20 minutes remaining until the burn node. 10 minutes remaining. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Wait, that was my orbital. That was where I wanted to go. The 5. Oh, man. Smooth move there, buddy. Smooth move. And we have ourselves a good burn. Let us begin. Hopefully we haven't missed it. No, we haven't missed it. It's going to be a little bit of an oblong orbit, but oh well. Okay, so we have initiated our burn to get us around Jool. Now, where is Lathe? That's Tylo. That's Bop. That's Paul. Where's Lathe? Paul, Bop, Tylo. This is Jool, isn't it? Yeah, this is Jool. So where is... Oh, there's more. Val. Lathe, there you are. You're really close to the planet for some reason. Okay, so your orbital altitude is 21 million meters. Okay, so that's what we're going to be shooting for here on our periapsis. We're going to want to... Or is it the apoapsis? I can't remember. I think it's the apoapsis, actually. No. No, wait. It's the periapsis. Okay. I have confirmed it's the periapsis because I'm just crazy. Alright, I'll be back. These 10-minute burns take much longer than 10 minutes because of the frame rate. I will return shortly. Alright, it looks like this is the best I'm going to be able to do with my fuel. I've been burning for quite a while here. I'm going to need to perform a 3-minute and 3-second burn in order to get into an orbit here around Tylo. There's just no way for me to get into one around Lathe. It's too far down. I would have to slow down too much. But if I do a maneuver here at the periapsis, I should be able to perform kind of a weird capture where I'll actually start orbiting Tylo in an eccentric orbit here. And if I'm lucky, I might be able to find some points where I can actually launch my space planes and, you know, out here at the apoapsis here of their orbit around Tylo, eject them and get them to go into Lathe. I'm not 100% sure that they have enough fuel for that, but I'm hoping. We're certainly going to find out. As you can see, they do actually have some small additional thrust that they can get from this back end thing here. It's got some fuel tanks and 4 of these really tiny little Rockomax rockets on them. They'll work, but yeah. So this one, actually, it can probably burn these for a very long time because it's got these 2 fuel tanks here that are full of oxidizer, and they're full of liquid fuel. So I think that that'll actually kind of work out. This one, he's got the bigger rocket engines, so he's going to be the one who I try to go first because he'll do the maneuvers much more quickly because he's actually got some rocket engines that he can use to try to kick himself down into that orbit. So we'll try with this guy first, and then if he makes it, then maybe we'll bring this guy in. But, I mean, even then, before we even bother with those, we need to get a satellite into orbit. Here we go. That'll be one of these guys. And they've got one of these great big old fuel tanks and these 4. I know these guys can make it. If I can get into orbit around Tylo, I can get a mapping satellite around Lathe. That's just basically how it is. The question is, do I have enough fuel remaining for a 3-minute and 3-second burn? I don't think I do. It's going to be close. It's most definitely going to be close. Anyway, I'm going to navigate myself over there and attempt that burn again. I will let you know what happens. And the moment of truth is upon us. Burn initiating. Full throttle. And away we go. Now, these things are still disabled with their crossfeed, right? Right, because it keeps trying to suck fuel out of these things, and I don't want it to do that. I really don't want it to do that. Because they need their fuel if they're going to be able to get to where we're going. So we've got about 3 minutes of burn time left. I don't know. This is going to be really sketchy and skin of the teeth if this actually works. But if I can get into an elongated orbit around Tylo, that should be enough for me to send things to Lathe. I will actually put one of the probes around Lathe, or I'll just leave it orbiting around Tylo and we'll scan it. Maybe we'll get lucky and find something interesting on Tylo. I have no idea. But what that's going to do is that's going to basically save me the fuel that is within that probe. So if it's that close, I can suck the fuel out of one of the probes here that's got a satellite on it, because all he really needs is his RCS in order to get into a circular orbit at a specific altitude. That's not a problem. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. We may have enough fuel. We may have enough fuel. It's going to be really close. It's still only going to be in orbit around Tylo, but I suppose that's better than what we had before. Then again, with an orbit around Tylo, we might be able to slingshot ourselves into an orbit around Lathe. I'm not sure I want to try it. That sounds sketchy as all get out. Okay, so it sounds so sketchy. Buggery. All right, I'll return when we have made some progress here. We're gonna see if we can't get around Tylo. And score. So you gotta love these nuclear engines for just being bulimic as all get out. But they didn't even, well, they got about halfway through this fuel tank, and I've still got a reasonable amount of fuel left in them. Okay, so that's good. It's not enough to get us to Lathe. It's not. We're lucky that we were managed to establish an orbit here around Tylo. I am going to try and use it to round out the orbit a little bit, maybe a little bit of a higher orbit. There is one thing I'm slightly concerned about. We're getting rather close to Tylo here. How close are we getting to Tylo? Oh, no, we're not. 1.2 million? Not even slightly. Never mind. Okay, so all is good. Let's just accelerate time here until Tylo catches us. And then we can get down to the business of maybe actually flying something today. We're going to try to put something on Lathe. Oh, don't screw with me like that, game. That's not funny. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, God. Okay. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Get me in. No, I want you to focus on the craft. Get over it. Thank you. That's what we wanted. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, crap nuggets. We're going to impact. Shit. That was supposed to be an orbit, not an impact. Crap. Okay, we've still got some time before we get down to Tylo. We're a long ways off. We need to establish an orbit. Means... Hang on, can I actually see Tylo? Please tell me I can see Tylo. Where is Tylo? I kind of need to see Tylo. Is it up here? I don't see it. Okay, hang on. The back end will be pointing at it here in a moment. Right. Ah, there it is. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. We're not dead yet, so let's try and actually get this thing into orbit. Oh man, it's a good thing I still have some fuel left. Alright, so we don't want to burn directly against the way that we're traveling towards Tylo. That wouldn't help us at all. We need to correct our orbit out to the side a little bit. Although I think we do actually need to slow down significantly. But what we need to do is we need to burn this way to drag our orbit so that it's wider and slow down at the same time. Alright, so we're just going to lock it in right there. What does this start doing to our orbital pattern here? Well, it's definitely bringing us back into an orbit. Okay, so that's slowing us down. That's good. Alright. Now that we're more on a... Why are you rotating? Stop that. Weird. Okay. Now I need to burn... Wait, I need... Right, okay. So there's Tylo. Where's Lathe hiding at? Lathe, where are you? There you are. Okay, so I need you to burn about... Basically straight at Lathe. So let me see if I can't get this thing pointed straight at Lathe. Nope, not that way. How about... Let's just use the RCS here. It's not like we don't have shit tons of it. Okay. Over that way. Okay, so I'm gonna guess right about the 270. Yeah, okay. I think the 270 is gonna do it. Come on. Hold on to your... Oh boy. This is so sketchy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, lock it in. Start burning. Oh man, we've got so little fuel here. Is that doing what I want? No. It's like rotating that way. Okay, stop. What's going on here? I thought you were pointing like straight at... Okay, so you are pointing straight at it, but that's not where we want to be. Alright, fine. Is it this way? I think so. But how far? Oh, I don't know. I just need to get the orbit wider before we smack into freaking Tylo here. How about that? Is that gonna do it? Or are you gonna like go all skiddly wonkus on me again? Yes. Yes. Okay, that's it. That's it. But why is that going up? I need this to grow like desperately, and it's not cooperating. Shit! Come on! Grow, damn you! I don't have the fuel to be wasting on this. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I have the fuel to establish an orbit around Tylo. Oh dear. This is not good. What happened to not approaching Tylo more than by like 4 million kilometers? What the hell? Guys, dang it! Freaking... Ah! The analyzer lied to me. Oh no. And now it's going to be on an escape trajectory. Great. So not only are we going to have to literally burn in a weird angle to get us around an orbit, but we're going to have to burn when we get there to slow us down so we don't accidentally leave again. Ah! Oh, this is not what I was hoping for at all. Okay. Is everything still running? Yeah, they're still burning. About to run out of fuel, though. Okay, do we have a periapsis yet? We do. Kill that throttle quickly. We don't have much fuel to waste. Okay, the periapsis is right now at 28,000 meters. Does Tylo have an atmosphere? Not Lathe. I need Tylo here. Jool, Ike. No. Lathe, Vol, Bop, Tylo. Kerbal. Here we go. Does Lathe have an atmosphere? No. Okay, so we can afford to go low on Lathe. That's not a problem. Alright, you go away. And now we got to... We are actually going to get... Okay, so we're not actually going to impact Lathe. Oh, man. We're going to come pretty close, though. Alright. Alright. Let's get down to Lathe. We gotta get into a... We're gonna burn the rest of our fuel trying to slow down. Oh, for the love. Alright, let's go. Can't start burning until we get to that periapsis, because otherwise I'm just wasting fuel. Oh man, we are going to come so close to lathe. It is not even funny how close we are going to come to this dang thing. We could smack a mountain for all I know. We are literally going to be that low. This is 180. Okay, where is it? There we go. We're 180 kilometers off the surface still, so we're not doing too bad. But as you can see, we're coming in pretty dang close. And we're approaching quite quickly. Oh dear. Oh dear. So our periapsis, 28,000 meters. Keep going, keep going. We got to get closer to it. Alright, it's not going to let us warp any faster now because we're too close to the planet's surface. Alright, this ought to do it, and as fortune would have it, it would appear that we are already pointing almost in exactly our direction of travel. Okay, so that's good. At least I got that going for me, right? Alright, so these tanks are going to run out of fuel very soon. But the little rockets will continue burning for quite some time. They've actually got a lot of fuel in them. So much so that I think I'm... How much time do I have before I get to that node? None. I'm at the node. Damn. Okay, well, let's do the burn. Because we have to slow it down. Okay, now we're not bringing down our periapsis any. Good. What about the... Oh, wow, that's all it took, huh? Huh. Okay. I thought we were going to have to slow down a whole bunch before we actually managed to establish a decent orbital pattern here. Alright, so 6 million meters. I'm going to use up the rest of this fuel here to try to get a decent orbit here that's not so skillywonkus. And we'll return when I have one. Okay, and there we have it. That was the best I could do. It's not too bad of an orbit. And it looks like we are going to get a few scans of the planet. Nothing serious. It's only going to get the major band here. But that will actually show... any of the that should show a few anomalies if there are any on this planet, but then again it may show absolutely none, and there could be a dozen, and because they could be all situated at the poles or something trolly like that. Yeah, so think of Tylo as basically the Mun, only it's the same size as Kerbal. Has about the same gravity, just no atmosphere. So yeah, anyway, good stuff. Good stuff to know. This is on Tylo? Yeah, Tylo. So he's got... Where is it? Scroll down a little bit. Surface gravity. 7... Oh, wow. Okay, I stand corrected. His surface gravity is about 7 times that of Kerbal? 8 times that of Kerbal? Kerbal? Jeez. Okay, so it's the Mun. It's the size of Kerbal, but it has 8 times the gravity. Holy crap nuggets. This would not be a fun one to land on, let's put it that way. No, not at all, because I'm fairly certain Kerbal is a 1. Or Kerbal is a 1. So let's go back to, there we go, Kerbal. Where's his gravity? No, his is 9.8. Okay, so, okay. Alright, so Tylo has slightly less gravity. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know indeed. Okay, well, that's going to have to do for this episode. We have, by some interesting miracle, managed to get ourselves around Tylo. I'm just going to hit the time accelerator here. Fine, I'll disable it. Right. Got the throttle all the way up because the engines don't have any fuel anymore. Kick up the throttle here. Nope, 50. 50 is as fast as you can go before ISA map set quits, just if you were wondering. And that's going to have to do it. So, Tylo, entertaining. We didn't quite make it to our target with the spacecraft, and there you can see we get too high to do scanning, which the altitude for that is like 500,000 meters. So we're only going to get like half scans on the equatorial radius. It'll be interesting to see how well that works out. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this episode. Next time, we're going to start launching things around. We're going to try to put a scanner on Lathe, obviously, but we're also going to try to put one on another planet here orbiting around Jool. And I'm thinking Vol might be a good choice. It's one of those, another one, icy one. It's like a big version of Minmus. And, of course, we've got Bop. Bop is just a tiny little rock. Probably don't want to bother with him. And then Paul, which I believe is also a tinier little rock. Yeah, he's a tiny little rock, too. But we might do Paul, actually. He looks kind of neat. He's got a nice texture and lots of mountains. I like him. Okay, so that settles that. We're going to do Bop, what is it? Paul. We're going to do Paul and Lathe. I've got 2 mapping satellites. That's what we're going to do with them. We're going to send one to Paul and one to Lathe, and we're going to map them out and see if we can find any anomalies before we go in for landing. And there you can see we've reapproached the planet enough that the scanner has kicked on again. Still no anomalies yet, but I'm hopeful that we will find something. I will actually let this sit here and run in the background for an hour or so to complete what scans I can get, or at least get a pretty good idea, before I go sending off these mapping satellites, because as soon as they leave, we will lose their ability to scan this planet, because we only have the 2 satellites. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this episode, although it may be completely pointless, because it looks like we're going on exactly the same orbit. Figures. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Stop talking, you idiot.